How's it going, everybody? eCom Tommy with another video coming at you guys, and this is a video that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. In this video, I teach you guys and show you guys the exact ways that I go about getting higher margins in my Amazon business, Amazon dropshipping business, than in my eBay business. And there's a couple of very key points that I make in this PowerPoint after this intro that I go over, especially talking about the BuyBox. So the BuyBox, if you guys do not know, or if you are new to this channel, or if you're new to Amazon dropshipping in general, if you just don't understand what it is, I go very in depth in this, and it is the number one reason why I believe you can get very variable and higher margins on Amazon dropshipping than on eBay dropshipping. I've been pulling some crazy margins regularly, sometimes over 30%. I had one the other day, a 57% margin on one order, and this is the same suppliers that I'm using on my eBay dropshipping business. Just that eBay makes it a lot harder to have variable margins and everything like that, where Amazon, although they are stricter in some aspects, it is a lot easier to get higher profit margins on Amazon. So I'm going to break down the three main factors as to why you can get higher margins in your Amazon business in the PowerPoint. Let's go inside of my computer. So here we are inside of my computer on how to achieve higher margins with Amazon dropshipping in 2019. So before we get started, let me know in the comments below if you do drop ship on Amazon, if you have yet to start, or what is really your big sticking points, or if you want to see me make more videos about it, because I've talked a ton about eBay dropshipping this year. I would like to move on to Amazon dropshipping, or at least start making that the main focus for the next couple of months. And also, if you do like what you see, please be sure to smash that like button like this guy. And let's just get into it. So the breakdown here is I came up with three main points as to why you're going to get higher margins on Amazon than you are on eBay. Number one is Amazon customer loyalty. Number two is the BuyBox, and I go into deep explanation on what the BuyBox is. Number three is bundles and multi-packs, just like on eBay, but a little bit different. And then, I got my results and conclusions. And be sure to stay until the end of this video, because in the results and conclusions section, I do show how I made over $500 profit in one day earlier this month with Amazon dropshipping. So first off, customer loyalty. Most shoppers in the US won't shop anywhere else. It's like 50-something% of people in the US have access to an Amazon account, have access to Amazon Prime. Not to mention, most customers don't even realize there's a difference between Amazon Prime, FBM, so fulfilled by merchant, or anything like that. They don't even realize that there's third-party sellers. They all just think that, oh, it's coming from Amazon, it's going to be great. They have extreme, awesome return policies, and I can do whatever I want. So that's pretty much why I believe everybody is going to Amazon, and why, eBay is definitely struggling on that side, but eBay dropshipping is still definitely a viable option. They always think that Amazon has the lowest price, which couldn't be farther from the truth, because first off, there's a ton of people dropshipping on Amazon. Second off, Amazon Prime almost always has a higher price than where you're going to find it, because they guarantee you 2-day shipping. So they have to raise the price, or there is still room to raise the price a lot more, about 20% higher than if there wasn't. And like I said, a lot of people don't realize there's a difference between Prime and fulfilled by merchant, or anything about third-party members. People are just like this guy. They're swiping on Amazon. They're just buying things. They have no idea where it's coming from. I've had people leave comments and feedback like, oh, I love Amazon Prime so much. Came so fast. Thank you. I've never sold any Prime items in my life on Amazon yet to date. And, it just makes no sense. People are pretty much oblivious, and they're going to keep coming back to Amazon because it's the thing to do. So that's why I would say you can get higher margins, because people are going to buy no matter what. They're going to go there. They're going to say, oh, this item, even though they don't even realize it's not Prime, they're going to be, oh, it must be the cheapest, so I'm going to buy it. So, that's pretty much one of the biggest reasons why. Number two is the BuyBox. So the BuyBox explained, this is the BuyBox. If you're looking at a listing, here's the title right here. Here's the BuyBox. So if you see a price right here, this is someone. This is someone's item. This is one specific person. But as you can see down here, it says new 3 from the lowest price, and then everybody else is higher than that person. So there's two other sellers on this listing, but this person's in the BuyBox, so they're making the majority of the sales. I looked up the statistics for this video. About 82% of sales come through the BuyBox. Why would it not come through the BuyBox? First off, maybe if there's a Prime item, Prime usually gets the BuyBox even though it's a lot higher. And somebody's also selling it fulfilled by merchant, so they're actually fulfilling it themselves or drop shipping it. I have one item like that where somebody's selling it Prime for about $89 to $92. I'm on the listing for $76. If somebody is observant enough, that 18% of people that are observant enough, they might see it and go, hey, well, it's cheaper here, and I can get just about the same shipping time. It just won't be 2 days, and maybe 3, maybe 4. I can usually get it in 2 days. So that's the BuyBox. So one thing about the BuyBox that you have to realize is that the lowest price is almost always favored. Prime is almost always favored. That's why I don't like to hop on very many Prime listings. I just don't like to deal with it. but the lowest price and the fastest shipping and handling time is almost always favored. So why does this get you higher margins, and why does this help you out so much? Well, first off, eBay doesn't have a buy box. So you're going to be going there, you're going to be listing. You don't know whether that item is going to sell or not because of the fact that you just listed that item up. You know, there's about a 30% chance, I've realized, from when you find an item that's sold a certain amount of times in the last 30 days to whether it sells. But on Amazon, there's software that will tell you this item sells this many times in the last 30 days. It's an estimate, but it's pretty damn accurate. So if you find an item that sells 20 times in 30 days and you know you can be competitive on the price, all you need to do is make sure to set your repricing software, which I'll go over in later videos if you guys want me to. Let me know below if you want me to talk about repricing softwares and everything like that. As long as you set your repricing software to equal, match, you know, the lowest price in the buy box down to a certain percentage, literally all of your margins will just steadily start creeping down if they need to. But if somebody comes off the listing, your margin's going to go back up. So all of your items are going to be selling at different prices, where on eBay, you kind of have to guess, hey, you know, 8% front end or 10% front end is what I want, or go in every day and check and change it. That's awful. I would never do that. It's not automated and it wastes a ton of time. But what you can do on Amazon is set it, I want my lowest percentage to be 5% front end. I want my highest to be 30. Then in between, you're going to be selling items in between that based on where everybody else is in the buy box. So here is an example of a not very saturated buy box. Like I said, this item only had 3 people on it. This person's very low, but they just launched. So that could, play a little bit of a role if they get it or not, but they did get the buy box. And also, how do you get more, or how do you make sure that you get higher margins and stuff? So a ton of people are doing Walmart onto Amazon. I stopped doing that 3 months ago. I had a video where I talked about I almost got banned. I'll tag that up above. But it says sellers battle for prices here in the buy box. This is where you're battling for prices. And the key is to find less competition, more obscure suppliers. So it's pretty much the same thing I've been teaching and pushing towards eBay, but you can still use API connected softwares and, basically just try to keep your metrics as good as possible. And you should be good. As long as you go for these more obscure suppliers, you're going to find items. Most of my items only have like 6, 7 people on it. And then from there, I know I'm fully tax exempt at my main supplier. Other people might not be. So I have a competitive advantage over that. That's why I make a lot of sales with less than 200 listings. I'm at almost 50,000 in sales for the last 30 days with less than 200 listings. So here's an example of an extremely saturated buy box. This is, in fact, a Walmart item that people are drop shipping. There's 1, 2 people at the lowest price, 2 people at 1 penny higher, 2 people at 2 pennies higher than that. There was 48 sellers on this listing altogether. Even if you do make a sale, you're probably not going to be making much money on this unless you're doing all sorts of sketchy things on the back end, like gift cards and all sorts of cashback stuff and whatnot. But I like to make my money on the front end. These profits that I'm about to show you in a couple slides are all front end margin, plus the 2% cashback card that I use. So also thirdly, so once you find a less obscure supplier, well, first off, that people are going to come to Amazon. They're going to buy no matter what the price is. Of course, lowering your price does give you a better chance of selling the item. But if the item's been selling a lot, it really is going to be pushed higher in Amazon search. And no matter what the price is, somebody's going to buy it. I can tell you that right now. Secondly, you want to find more obscure suppliers, which I'll be talking about more and also probably include in the course that I'm going to come out with on Amazon, which suppliers I actually use. So you're going to use suppliers that are more obscure. You find listings that don't have very many people on it so that there's not a ton of people undercutting. So one of the major things about the buy box that a lot of people do is instead of equaling the lowest price, they'll set their repricer to do 1 penny less than lower price. So if there's 2 people going 1 penny less than the lower price, then they're eventually just going to go down to just about nothing. And that's how those items and their margins get destroyed. So also bundles, just as, if not more popular on Amazon. I see a lot more originality with the bundles on Amazon. I see a lot bigger of the packs. Like I've seen 10 packs, 12 packs, multi-packs like that. These are all Walmart bundles that I found within literally 2 seconds. And as you can see, this one only has 1 person on it. This one only has 3. This was the original buy box thing that I was showing earlier in the slides. This one only has 2. These items aren't really selling that often, but I only put in like literally 5 minutes to find these bundles right off the bat. If you wanted to go find bundles that are selling often, I can tell you guys later in other videos about what softwares to use to figure out the sales velocity and other things like that. So bundles, of course, you're always going to get a higher margin for them because people don't really understand what the price is. You're mixing and matching things. You could be playing with shipping prices and all sorts of other things I've talked about in previous videos, and that's how you're going to get more money. So here's some results and conclusions. I'm only using really 1 supplier at the moment. I'll move myself out of the way. And this is all from July 9th. I blocked out the order ID. I'm not sure if anybody can actually figure out anything from that. But here's the sold price. Here's my purchase price. Here's shipping. I'm pretty much tax exempt at every state on this supplier, so I didn't pay tax on any of them. Here's some expedited shipping costs. These are extra prices that I talk about in other videos, and I'll talk a lot more in the course, where people are paying for expedited shipping, but they're not actually getting expedited shipping. Here's a 2% cash back on all of my purchase prices, and here's the percentage. So like I said, not every percentage is going to be high. I do have some high selling items that are selling very often that I'm around the 6, 7, 6 point something. So here's that one. So it's that same item that keeps selling and selling and selling mainly, or a lot of them. So there's very common items that are selling a decent amount, and then there's sometimes the items that are, coming out selling maybe 4 or 5 times a month, but I'm getting 28% margin, 21% margin, 21% margin here, 20%. Here's the high teens. There's a ton of high margins here. If you want to add together all the profits, I can guarantee you it's $530.52, because I just literally highlighted this row and just screenshotted the sum of this of that column. So with these techniques, I've been able to get over $500 profit in one day. Amazon is going to push you more sales than on eBay. It's a given as long as you're doing everything properly, but you need to make sure that you know what you're doing with eBay first before you move on to Amazon, because there's a lot more. They're very strict. They could hold your cash. They could restrict you. You could be out money. You could ruin your credit because of it. There's a lot of issues that could come into play. But if you do feel you're ready, then please let me know in the comments below, and I will try to get more videos out on Amazon dropshipping. So results in conclusion, once eBay is mastered, hop on to Amazon. Remember, over 82% of sales come from the BuyBox. So if you're not winning the BuyBox, or if you're not in a very not as competitive BuyBox, you want to be in a BuyBox where there's only 6, 7, maybe 10 people max on the item. So then there's not as many people on there just being assholes and just, undercutting down to the bottom. There's really no point. Less competition equals higher margins. Most customers think Amazon is the cheapest. So there you go. As long as there's less competition, there's going to be less people driving it down. You'll most likely have a higher margin, and people will buy it no matter what, because people think that Amazon's the cheapest. Obscure suppliers equals less competition. And if you want to do a little bit of math here, if you cross out less competition over less competition, that means obscure suppliers equals higher margin. So just don't go the normal route. Don't be using Walmart. Don't be using Home Depot. It's really just oversaturated. People are utilizing all these sketchy gift cards and all sorts of other things like that. I really don't want to fight for pennies anymore in my business. I'd rather make 10 sales a day and at like $150 average price, or 20 sales a day at $150 average price, and make some real front end margin, not have to deal with as many sales and make legitimate money like $500 in one day profit. So comment below if you want me to make a video of a breakdown on the entire day of the 500-day profit. I didn't even realize it really happened until I started scrolling through. I was like, oh wait, I sold a lot on that day, and then I double checked. I was like, oh wow, that was a lot of money. So I added it into this video. I hope you guys like this video. In conclusion, please post your questions below. If you have any questions about anything Amazon dropshipping related, I'll be sure to answer all of them. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe. When you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell next to it, and you will get notified every time I drop a video like this, which should be pretty regularly, a lot more regular in the future, because we have streamlined a lot of processes in the back end. So make sure to hit the bell notification, like I said, and comment what other Amazon videos you want to see from me. I don't know what you guys want to learn. I just know what I want to teach you guys, but it could be completely different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next one.